walking on the street and you noticed that I don't know, you were staring at yourself like on a billboard. What was the day when?
I wasn't like gazing at my, like mesmerized. The first time I got showed the poster was by one of the producers in the producer's office. And he said, "So what do you think?" And he kind of pulled off a sheet off it, like a grand reveal. And I just went, "Is that sensible? You do know people don't know who I am." And he just sort of said, "Yeah, but you know, the book's called Prince Caspian, so we had to call the film that, so we got to put a prince on the poster to deal with it." And I was like, okay. And it is surreal. I mean,
do you get recognized on the streets now?
No, not really. Not really, because the film isn't, you know.
All right, but the posters are everywhere. I mean,
the posters are everywhere.
If I saw you and I saw the poster, I would have been like.
But like people aren't as observant as you think they are. I've literally been, you know, sort of standing next to them, getting like a friend to take a photo of myself in the picture because, you know, that's what you have to do. You know, it's one of those things you have to do. And you know, people are kind of walking past, kind of not really, you know, no, that guy looks like that guy. But, you know, my brother pointed out to me that it's Caspian, it's not me.
Right.
So, you know, that's their way of kind of keeping me on one level.
A friend of mine interviewed you at Berlin, and you said that you're kind of a homebody, but in the sense that your brother's more of the party animal, and so now that you're a star, you get to live out this. I don't know. Do you feel things are changing?
Well, we party together.
Yeah. So you lied to my friend.
It's not like you know, I go partying with my brother. It's not like I'm the constantly sit at home with a cup of tea kind of guy. But he's just a little more adventurous than I am, I guess.
Do you feel like by doing a film like this, did it kind of boost your? I don't know. Can you do anything now? Are you more fearless than before, or do you feel like you're still the person that you kind of?
Not really, because you know, on a set like this, you know, you've got 1,000 people around you. You know, you've got the guy who will throw himself off the cliff in your costume instead of you, so you don't have to do it. So it probably puts an even thicker buffer zone in place, to be honest. But no, I mean, I did 1,000 things I'd never done before while we were shooting this film.
And anything that you remember that was like really dangerous that you were really surprised at?
There were a few. There was the scene at the end, right during the battle, where I sort of help get Trumpkin out of trouble with the dagger, and then I get mauled by Telmarines, and I fall back over myself into the pit that we created. And they said, right, now you're going to fall into the pit, but that's like 20 meters down. If I jump off that, I'm going to be dead. And then they said, well, we'll put some crash mats. And I was like, it still sounds really dangerous. And they put crash mats almost all the way to the top. But still, it's just that psychological thing of getting over, jumping into this, thing. I'm like, I could miss those crash mats. So, but eventually I did do it. And then I watched my stunt double doing a fall like almost twice as far. And it was just unbelievable. So I flipped about 3 times in the air. I was like, it's crazy, these people can do this. But it's really impressive.
When you were growing up, were you one of those like kind of swords and I don't know, wizardry kind of person? Like
definitely swords. I mean, I think it's quite a British thing as well. You get all the sort of tales of King Arthur and Robin Hood and all that kind of. I think swashbuckling is quite a British pastime. Historically.
So I mean, actually, the movie is a little bit. I was surprised at quite how violent. I don't know if violence is a better word, but like it is more. There's a lot more war sequences than.
Yeah. There's a lot more action in it, and I think it's a lot darker. I think that's probably mostly though because you've got a human villain. You've got people actually dying in this one, as opposed to the first one. If you remember, they all just got turned to stone, and everything was kind of okay in the end. There's that terrifying scene where Sergio Castellito, who plays Miraz, looks into the eyes of one of his generals and says, how many people died in this attack? And he says, none. And he says, no, how many people died in this attack? And he looks around at these 3 guys and he says, 3, my lord. And I'd forgotten all about reading it, because I've only read it once, about a year and a half ago, that particular scene. And yeah, it was, it's creepy.
Now, is it true, last question, that you had to, for the poster, you're actually you have hair weaves? Is that true?
For the whole shoot, for the whole film.
Really? Okay,
yeah, because when I was doing a play in London, when I was auditioning for the part, and I had short hair for that, and they found an old picture of me with longer hair, and they said, well, we want you to look like this. And I said, well, I can't just sit here and grow it, So they said, we'll have to have hair extensions, so I had to get them done about 3 times during the course of the shoot. It's all like glued in, and you can't sleep for about a week after you first get them in because you've got glue in your hair, basically. But and then, ironically, by the end of the shoot, it was the right length. So it's real now.
Yeah, I was going to pull on it, but thank you.
Cheers,
Nice
mate.
talking to you.
You too.
Thank you.